Good morning, St. Louis! Welcome to another stop on the STL Donut Tour. Today's donut destination is a revisit to John's Donuts on Broadway, right by the Soulard Market. Serving the Koskiusco, Soulard, and Sauget neighborhoods for 40 years, I last visited John's Donuts over a year ago in the 6th episode of the STL Donut Tour. Today's visit to a nearby bakery was abruptly canceled when I walked in and found out they no longer made donuts. So I stopped into John's, where I can always count on getting some fantastic donuts. Formerly a late-night donut shop, John's changed their hours to their current 4 a.m. to noon schedule back in February of 2020. On January 1st of 2022, they raised their prices slightly to offset rising food costs, so pay attention to the menu prices in the video. If you're visiting John's for the first time, then you have to take a minute to check out all the cool stuff on the walls. They have coffee mugs, posters, vintage photos, paintings, and a ton of old Superman memorabilia. But my kryptonite has got to be their Glazed Yeast Donuts. I think that John's has some of the best glazed yeast donuts in St. Louis. Now let's take a closer look at those donuts. Starting off today with my personal favorite, the Glazed Yeast Donut. It has an absolutely beautiful golden brown look to it with a thick shiny glaze. The inside is soft and fluffy with a nice chew and a superb dough structure, giving this donut both a firm outer crust and a melt-in-your-mouth buttery soft texture. So delicious. Following that, we have a glazed buttermilk cake donut. From the first look, we can see a light golden color and a super thick and shiny glaze. After breaking open the crisp outer glaze, we see the rich, warm, spiced buttermilk cake center. This cake donut has such a great flavor and is so soft and moist. It's just amazing. Next up is the glazed raspberry jelly-filled donut. I just love how deep golden brown their yeast donuts are. The bismarck on this is a generous size with a thick sugary glaze. Breaking it open, we find a dark raspberry jelly filling that has a nice full-bodied raspberry flavor. The whole donut has an incredible lightness to it that just melts like cotton candy on your tongue. There's a good amount of jelly, but it's all kind of stuck on one side. After that is another of my favorite styles, the glazed sour cream old-fashioned. And we have another picture-perfect classic donut. The glaze all thick and sugary piled up in the center crevice. Breaking it open, we find a rich, creamy cake with a good sweet buttery flavor. That thick glaze gives it a satisfying crisp crack when I break it open. I love that. I should have gotten two. Up next is another filled bismarck, the chocolate iced custard filled. Just like our other yeast donut, this one is also perfectly browned with a great chewiness. The bismarck has a nice buttery flavor and the chocolate icing is super thick and fudgy. When I break it open, I found a good amount of sweet creamy custard inside. Again, all down at one end. Seriously though, look at how thick that icing is. Just beautiful. Next up we have a golden brown and delicious cinnamon twist. It has a beautiful looking pattern, almost thatched like strands of cinnamon on the dough, and more of that thick sugary glaze. Breaking it open, we find it good and chewy with a super soft center and a crispy outer shell of a glaze. It has a yeasty, buttery, sweet cinnamon flavor and a great chewiness. Following that, we have an expertly crafted chocolate iced Long John. It has a perfectly uniform look with a golden buttery Long John and that super thick fudgy glaze that I loved on the custard filled donut. Just absolutely perfect topping on this donut. Soft and fluffy, this Long John has a fantastic chew, a wonderful flavor, and a beautiful look to it. What a classic. Next up is a special treat, a lemon coconut crunch cake. This cake is fluffy and moist, almost a pudding cake-like texture with a superb lemon flavor and a thick, crunchy glaze on top, sprinkled with a shredded coconut crunch topping. I'm usually not a big fan of coconut, but it is really nicely utilized here and really helps add a layer of depth to the flavor of the cake. So lemony sweet. I love it. And last but not least, we have another of my favorites, the apple fritter. John's apple fritters got that shiny golden brown look from a nice thick glaze and a good long fry. Breaking it open, we see a soft and fluffy fritter center with big chunks of apples and a good amount of cinnamon mixed throughout. Such a delicious cinnamon apple flavor. Thanks for watching this week's donut destination. I've only got one more donut shop in the St. Louis area to visit, so make sure to click that subscribe button so you don't miss the upcoming season finale. Join me again next week as I tour another St. Louis area donut shop on the STL Donut Tour, where I'm looking for the gateway to the West through fried dough. Have a great day, everyone.